Hello, rock stars. Welcome to In the Pit. I'm your host, Rick, and it's another wonderful, glorious, it's a glorious something. This week's show, we've got Miss Lori Peters. How are you?
What's up, dude?
Yeah. Oh my God. It was like last week or like 2 weeks or maybe 3 weeks ago now that we got to hang out.
I know. I love talking with you, and Dallas was awesome.
Oh, you know what? Every time you come down to Dallas now, it's like, oh, Lori's in town. Lori's in town. And I feel embarrassed. I got on the bus and I like pushed past Mark and everybody. I'm like, Lori, hug.
I know.
I felt bad.
Back the second time because I felt like I was in the family now. Like I knew people.
Oh.
I felt like more, I don't know, like family.
How does that feel? Because I still I feel like the outsider. I'm like, hey guys, are you there? Can I come in?
Well, you're one of the big players that makes it so much feel like family, to be honest.
Oh my God. Wow. Thank you. Cause I'm winging it here.
We all are.
Oh my Lord. And it's funny because, and I had, a couple weeks ago, Phil was on and we yapped about it. And it's like, what is it like when you have that many drummers and 2 drum sets on stage and 7 hours later, all the drummers are like, still like, yeah, let's do this. Come on. We're ready to play some drums.
Oh yeah. I could have gone another 7 hours if I had to.
Oh my Lord. I think what do you think if nonstop, if you had to play, how long?
Oh gosh. I mean, a typical set is like what, an hour to an hour and a half?
Yeah, 90 to 120.
Yeah. I mean, I could do 3 hours if I absolutely.
Okay. And that's legitimate. And that's what I always tell folks. Like when we get done, because normally we're playing 90-minute sets. Every now and then my bands have to do 120. And they're like, aren't you just exhausted? I'm like, yeah, I'm tired, but I probably got another hour, maybe an hour and a half in me, depending on how fast we're playing.
Yeah, that's the key right there. How fast and how long are the songs and where are the breaks?
Oh my Lord. But it's funny I was trying to explain it to somebody recently. As drummers, this is our therapy. And it's the one thing about drummers that I know to be factual is not just are we a tribe, but this is our therapy. Every single drummer uses the drums as therapy.
Yeah. 100%.
And once you get into a therapy session, as we will call them, it's hard to stop.
Yeah. Especially when you got like 10 amazing drummers all in one area.
Oh, you get up there and I'm going to tell you, I love watching it when you get on the set. Do you get intimidated at all when you're like, there's people watching like other drummers?
Yeah, totally. I mean, when you've got the caliber of drummers that April was able to get in
every year.
Yeah, at first it's kind of like high school. You're a little bit intimidated. You're like, I don't know if I belong. But then we all have that common bond. And then it's just like, we're all just here doing the same thing. It doesn't matter how long you've been playing or how, if I'm better, if you're better, like who cares? You get over it.
You're right. It doesn't matter because we are one of the groups of musicians where you're part of the crowd, you're part of the family, and drummers are really quick about like, hey, let me show you how to do that. Like Greg, watching him play, I got to tell you,
oh man,
I was embarrassed that I sat down and played. Like I suck. Like, like wow.
Yeah, just incredible. Just what an opportunity to be able to play with like one of my idols growing up. Like I grew up in the MTV generation too. So man, it's just so cool, especially being a breast cancer survivor. So I'm there for that, but then I'm there to contribute and try to raise money. And then like my little teenage Lori comes out like, am I really here like playing with alongside some of these drummers,
Oh, wait. Not just are you playing. Okay. And by the way, you and April throwing down. Awesome.
Yeah.
But when you sat down with all 4 of you were playing, Okay,
Yeah.
because Hannah got up, and then Michelle Graves was up there with you guys. Holy cow! And I'm telling you, I think everybody, that was an electric moment to see all you ladies ripping the skins apart. I think all of us guys were on the sideline going, "That's right, ladies. That's how it's done. Thank you very much."
When I watched the video back, I was like, when I was in it, it was amazing and epic. And then when I watched it back, I was like, yeah, we hung in there pretty good.
Oh, wait, did you do one of those where you started watching it multiple times? You're like, man, if I had not done that, and you start critiquing your parts, like, can we go back and re-record that?
Yeah, I was like, well, I should have done this. I should have, tried a few more things, but I was just trying to keep it steady.
That's the tough part. Like, I was intimidated because I knew, obviously, y'all are up there. You've seen me play before, so but it's still, even though I know you, intimidation factor because you're a ripping great drummer. But then there's Phil, and there's Greg, and there's Mark, and I jump in, and I wasn't going to play at all. One of my fans paid to have me play with April, and I wanted to play with all you celebrities. I didn't get to, and it's okay because there was a line. I get it. This is about keeping the show going. So I sat in with April, and I launched into like Dancing with Yourselves from Billy Idol. And as I did it, as I started playing, I'm like, oh crap, that's right. Mark is over there, and he used to play for Billy. What were you thinking, moron boy?
I know. Yeah. And then John Arnett got up, and somebody paid to have him play with me from Infinite Journey. Yeah. I was like, yeah, I suck.
John is such a sweet guy. Like, wow. I can't even say anything. John is such a sweet guy. And every time I get to see him play, I'm just like, maybe I should take a lesson. I mean, just say it.
I just need to practice more.
We don't say that. Because apparently I'm always practicing because I'm always tapping on crap. I annoy everybody. Like,
yeah. And if I'm not tapping on crap, then I'm doing it with my teeth. I'm kick and snare.
Oh my God. Okay, wait. Do you chew gum when you play?
No. I'm tapping my teeth.
Oh, Amy gets mad because she's like, you got to close your mouth. You got to quit chewing gum when you play. I'm like, why? She's like, you're up there going. I'm like, oh.
Yeah, I'm making stupid faces either way.
I think that's almost like a requirement. I think it's in the DNA of every drummer to make it happens. I don't even know why. It just happens.
Yep. You get into it, you get I have the hair flowing.
Oh, you suck. I hate you.
You get the head banging going.
I hate you. I miss those days, like the 90s when I actually had hair and it was shoulder length and it gets all okay. I know y'all are gonna be grossed out, but as drummers, we sweat. We perspire up there, and your hair gets all wet, and it's like, and it's nasty, but it's so cool. It looks great on film.
Yeah, we sweat too, and it happens. I love that feeling. I don't even care.
Oh no, you were included in that. We're drummers, and you were included in that. It's not a guy-girl thing. We're drummers. Yeah. We sweat.
Yeah, you're right.
Oh my Lord. What was probably, and I have my moments as well. What was your most memorable moment of the day? Was that it when you ladies did it, or was there something else that stood out?
Yeah, that was probably the highlight for me, was because I think that's Michelle Graves. That's her thing. I think because she did that last time I was there. She went up.
Yep.
So she rallied the troops on that, but I appreciate it because that was probably and I did get to play next to Mark too. That was pretty cool. And Hannah, of course.
And Hannah, which and Hannah blew me away as well. Like some of her kind of her funk grooves were like, whoa.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm just a pop punk drummer.
Yeah, me too. I'm pop rock.
That's
my lane.
You and I, okay, so we're in the same lane. Like we're watching everybody else go, wow. I should practice.
Yeah, it's a different kind of drummer when you can do the funk and the jazz and man.
What are your top three?
Styles?
No, top 3 drummers. Your top 3 favorite. Not like, what do you think are the top? What are your top 3 favorite drummers?
Chad Gracie of Live, because that's my top. Neil Parrott, however you say it.
That's Parrott.
Yeah. And probably, I don't know, you could throw in anybody, like Tommy Lee,
Okay.
Amazing.
Stuart Copeland, Jimmy Chamberlain, Trey Cole. Like, I don't even miss a beat. Those are like my top 3 because I always wanted to play like Stuart Copeland. And because I was a huge Police fan. I love John Bonham. I love Brian Tishy. I love Neil. Like there's Tommy Lee. There's an infinite number of drummers I love. Greg, Mark, Rich, Eric. Like there are so many drummers I love. But my top 3, like I wanted to play like Stuart Copeland, and then I was a monster Smashing Pumpkins fan. I wanted to play just like Stuart. Like, and those are jazz drummers. And the only out of the 3, the only one that I can kind of sort of come close to is Trey Cole. And that's just because he plays fast.
Those suit you. I can definitely see those influences. Yeah.
Ooh. It's funny. It changes. Like, what are you listening to right now?
I think I listen to a lot of like active rock, like Seether, Breaking Benjamin, 3 Days Grace, those types of bands.
That's funny because you can see the Seether poster right there, autographed. I'm a huge Seether fan, and all right. I actually we did an interview with John a while back, and unfortunately we had some technicals and it got deleted. I never got to air, but I got to hang out and talk with John. He's another drummer that he's such a nice guy. Like, wow, it was incredible. But my playlist changes constantly.
Mine too. I like so many different things. Probably the only thing I wouldn't say I seek out to listen to is probably country, but not to say that I don't watch those. I would be glued to that drummer, whoever, Rich.
Yeah. Rich. Yeah.
I'd be watching them the whole show probably.
I don't care what music you take me. You take me to a jazz show and I'm watching the drummers, and it's because I feel like there's always something to learn, like always. And you go home and you're like, I'm in the shower and I'm running those drum beats through my head. I'm like, Amy's like, get out of the shower. You're wasting water. And I'm in there going, and she's like, really? Get the hell out. And like,
do that in the basement.
Yeah. She's like, yeah. And I'm like, but wait. I think I got it figured out. But it doesn't matter what genre it is. If you take me somewhere and there's a live band, I'm watching the drummer. And sometimes it's because I like to see how do they look visually. Because some drummers just sit there and do this. They're statues. And you're like.
Yeah. Yeah. Get a little more animated.
Yeah. And then there's some drummers that are like insane idiots like me that you're like, I hope he doesn't fall off the drum set and hurt himself, which has happened.
Yeah, I've been there before. My stool has done one of those where the set drops and then you're done.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Is that the worst epic moment on stage for you? Like when the seat drops?
Yeah. Well, those were probably in my teenage years when that happened. So it was like the crappy stool when I couldn't afford a nice rocking sock. Probably the thing, like, let's say during a Skillet show, was when the guitar player jumped up and then the overhead mic falls on you and like traps you.
No.
I don't care if you come up on the riser, but don't move my kick drum and don't knock mics into me.
So I don't even mind. I leave room now. So because my dancer Yvette, she'll come up behind me, and so they actually, all my bandmates now know that there's enough room to come behind me. The one thing they have to know is you have to tap me on my shoulder, so I know you're behind me. And yes, don't knock my crap over. If I knock a cymbal over, that's my fault.
Yeah.
But don't be knocking my drums over, and don't kick my cocktails over when you're behind me.
The drinks.
Oh, you want to see somebody throw a little temper tantrum? You can maybe take my alcohol, and don't leave my water, and leave my pre-gym because I need my energy boost. Oh my!
An overhead mic, a boom mic, and it fell completely across me. So I'm trapped under it, and I just had to do a quick like whip it off of me.
You're T-Rex in it.
for a few seconds.
Am I the only one that finds it weird when you sit down behind another drummer's kit and you don't adjust anything and you go to play it and you're like, oh, it feels alien because all the angles are different?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Oof. Wait,
Oh,
yeah, I'm the only one, or yeah, no, I can sympathize.
I definitely can sympathize. 'Cause, I mean, when you play festivals or you play something like Drum, I get it. They're you got to keep on schedule, and if everybody's up there, you can, so hopefully you get it. I've had enough experience where you just roll with it, and maybe the tom is too high, but I can make it work.
I played a show this past a couple days ago at Lava Cantina here in Dallas, and I played the Jason, the drummer for the Kruligans. I played his kit, and I did not adjust a thing. I did bring my own snare and my own throne because I know that those two would be at the right heights. Everything would be adjusted for me, and I'll play everything else. But his hi-hat was much higher. His tom, this finger, it was bleeding. Like there's blood all over my snare now because I just kept whacking things because it was in the wrong place for my arms.
Yep, that's what tends to happen. You break skin.
And people go, your fingers look all mangled. What's wrong with you? Really?
Yeah.
Really?
I've caught the edge of a blunt hi-hat cymbal, and that's no fun.
Oh my God. You know what? Just put my arm on the ground or my hand on the ground, just stomp on it or something. It's like it might feel better.
So that's no fun. And I just can't play with gloves. I just can't do it. I know Greg was playing with gloves, but I guess I can't say I've never tried it, but I feel like it's just going to take that feeling away. And
you're right.
I can't do it.
It does. I actually have a pair of gloves, and it's only because in the wintertime, if I play an outdoor show and it's near freezing or anything below like 45, your hand, it's like taking a baseball bat and hitting rocks in the middle of winter in the snow. It hurts.
Yeah.
You get done in your.
Why are you doing shows outside at 45 degrees?
Because they still book shows here in Texas in the middle of winter outside.
Seriously?
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
We played one show and it was 34 degrees outside. It was just above freezing, and they had a heater blowing on me. And I'm telling you right now, it was the hardest show I've ever played. And I said, and I went and bought gloves after that. But gloves, they do zero. There's no insulating value to them at all. And yes, the sticks feels funky. You think you're going to lose everything.
Yeah. I don't think I'd want to try it. I guess in extreme circumstances, they might come in handy, but
I watched a friend's band play. It was 27 degrees outside last winter when Texas had the big freeze.
Oh yeah.
They had a show and they played, and I went there, and I'm in an Eskimo suit and I'm watching them, and I felt bad for Jesse because I'm just going, oh man, you're dying. And it was a 2-hour show.
Even like as a concert goer, I don't think I'd want to go to an outdoor show in that kind of weather. Like it'd have to be
It's
something
brutal.
somebody I'd really like to see, but I don't know.
Yeah, so then you go to your top 3 again.
Yeah.
You're like, yeah, I'm going to that show. Oh my Lord, what else has been going on with you?
I mean, not much since Drumathon, just plugging away. I had a Sound Better gig where people can hire me on soundbetter.com, and
nice.
So apparently I had never heard of, gosh, I can't think of the term, but so it's a guy that raps, but it was some other term that I hadn't heard yet.
Okay.
Anyway, and so I'm like, well, are you sure that you want, me? I'm basically a rock drummer on it. He's like, yeah, well, we're doing like a remix, and the guitar player from Hinder did all the strings on it. I'm like,
okay.
He did guitars and strings. I'm like, send it to me. Let's hear it. And I think it turned out pretty cool. But so now he's like in the mixing stages. He's trying to get somebody to mix it, but yeah, that's pretty cool. It's with all these sites out there like Sound Better. You can work with people that you thought you'd never work with.
I got to go look it up. I'm good. I could play drums a little bit. I'll do it.
Yeah, as long as you got the studio set up and everything to record, quality drums.
Yeah, I've got all that. That's easy. But it has to be. So wait, they send you all the files. You do the recordings and send it back to them, and they do all the mixing.
Yep.
So you got to just make sure you're capturing really solid.
Yeah, really solid, good sounding. And then Chris and I will do like the basic editing and make sure that I'm sending them something that I'm, satisfied with.
Yes. Yes.
And then, so they're paying me for that. And then
Nice.
after that, it's, they own it and whatever they do with it. I mean, I guess in theory, they could chop the crap out of it. And
yeah,
I mean, you're kind of hoping that they maintain your performance. I mean, they did pay for it.
Yeah, you don't get any royalties on that on the backside, do you?
No.
No, it's an upfront fee?
Yep.
Nice.
Yeah.
Honestly, though, that's not bad. Do they give you a click track? Like, so you know what your meter is, or?
Yeah, generally, they'll, I want to make sure that it's a quality track that they're giving me that I feel like I can play to. But I've played to it with as little as just bass guitar.
Yeah.
As long as it's in time, I'll throw up my Tama click. But sometimes they'll have more. They'll have a guitar track or strings. Sometimes it's just guitar and a scratch vocal. But I'm like, well, if it's enough,
I can work with that. I can work with that. I just turn it up really loud in my ears. Like, you got to be giddy though. I mean, I've seen Hinder, 3 or 4 times back in their original lineup, and I loved Hinder. Lips of an Angel. I'm just like everybody else. That was Get Stoned. Another great song.
And the producer that produced that album, he produced the last album I was on with Skillet, which was Collide.
Okay.
So, Comatose. Why does it have to be 2 of the, like, I always get them back. Comatose was the last album.
We're gonna blame it on Early Morning, so don't worry about it. But I mean, there's got to be a little bit of giddiness when you get the tracks there and you're listening to it, knowing who you're working with and going, yeah.
Yeah. And there are some clients that come in and I kind of have to just, like, maybe it's not, I mean, it might have potential, maybe it's not the best,
I love how politically correct you're being. You're dancing. You know
it's
what?
kind of like American Idol. Do you want to tell them maybe this isn't really for you? I don't know.
See, I'm like, don't pour sugar on it. Really, I'd rather people be brutally honest with me and go, hey, by the way, Rick, you suck. Thank you. And now I know, instead of going, oh, that was so phenomenal. And you in your heart are like, what?
Yeah, I have to get better at being more, straightforward. Just be like, I really wish you could do this, and then I'd feel better about, putting my stamp on it or whatever. But
yeah, that's it though. Because unfortunately, I think there's a lot of artists that will just like throw anything out there that they can and see what sticks. And it's like, I want to make sure if I'm putting my name on it, that it's got to be decent, because it still reflects on me, like what I'm doing. So I'm with you.
Yeah. And then, I mean, there's that little bit of like, well, I give them the tracks, and then it could, I don't know what the final mix is going to sound like. So it's like, well, what are you going to do?
Actually, as long as you did your job right, even if they like scramble it up, your parts were solid, you may even sound better than you thought.
Well, that's why before it leaves, Ocean Studios, Chris and I want to make sure that it's up to par.
Absolutely. Have you ever thought about doing one of those things where, I know Tommy Lee's doing it. I know Travis Barker did it, drummer and a DJ.
I never thought about that, but my husband Chris used to DJ. So I mean, stuff we could do it, but
okay. If you ever do, I want to hear it, because I'm going to tell you right now. I've listened to some of that stuff, especially that Travis did. Holy cow. To play along with a DJ, I'd be totally in. I think it would be fun.
I think it would be fun too. Actually, a friend of mine, he does weddings and all, the whole nine. And he asked me probably about 5 years ago, he's like, "Did you ever think about, playing along with me like at an event?" And I'm like, never had anybody ask me that before, but it sounds like a lot of fun.
I've seen those videos of the drummers at the weddings that are like, this drummer's in the wrong band. And he's going ape crap crazy back there. That's what you got to do.
I have seen videos like that.
Oh, I am now waiting for the video of Lori at a wedding, and she snaps, and she just looks,
I would just be, I'd just be playing along to whatever he's spinning for people to dance to.
Oh,
but he was like, well, it's like another service he can offer to the client. Like, well, hey, for an extra whatever, I can have a live drummer come and play along. It's like, well,
and for an additional fee, I can get you a celebrity.
Yeah.
And Lori, you're looking around going, where can we get one of those? Like,
yeah, right.
Oh,
I don't think of myself in that category.
Nobody does. Nobody. It's funny because I don't think Greg was that way. Greg was the most down to earth guy.
Totally.
Doesn't even think of him, and you're like, Greg, what? Or Mark. Holy crap, Mark Rich. Like, let's go down the list. Everybody I've ever met, Phil, everybody is just you.
Yeah.
Humble. And I think it's because you don't see it the same way that the world sees it. Because it's just what you do.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, it's true.
It's like my dogs. They think I'm a rock star.
Mine too. I'm surprised he's out there. I'm waiting for him to run up next to me.
Oh, it won't even bother me. I had a guest on a few weeks back, and his cat got up and literally stuck his butt right in the camera. Not once, but twice. And I was like, we're keeping that. Like, I love animals, and I'm actually on the verge. I'm gonna have to say goodbye to one of mine probably this week. I will cry a lot, but I also talk about it because it's therapy, because there's a humane way, and my wife is the one that had to put it in perspective. I'm not ready to say goodbye, but I can't have him suffer. And will I cry? Yes, I will. But it's been a great life. 12 years old. But he's got cancer, and it's okay. It's we talk about it. We'll think about all the great times, look at the pictures, and celebrate what an awesome life. And I'm trying to be upbeat about it because I know I have a lot of friends that have just had to recently, especially with COVID. They've lost pets and family members, and focus on the positive. We've got to celebrate.
I've been there. It's so hard, but you have to make that decision. They're not eating anymore, and it's like, I can't put them through this anymore.
No. And that's one of the things that I meant to ask you or tell you that was an impactful moment for me at Drumathon, is to see all the ladies that got up that are survivors. Those are warriors. Those are true heroes. And you're part of that. Wow. You don't know how you will face or deal with adversity, but to say, we're going to take it one day at a time. We're going to fight all the way to the end. Yeah. I got choked up a little, and I was glad I didn't have to go person to person and actually ask them, kind of interview them. What's your story? I don't think I would have made it. I kind of stood off to the side.
Yeah. It was a bigger group, I felt, than it was in 2019.
Yep.
If this group can just keep growing and growing, that's awesome.
I actually, and it's funny because I do talk about my involvement with Breast Cancer Can Stick It and doing Drumathon. And I tell, I've actually got a couple friends right now that are in the midst of battling, and they're not prepared to go public yet. But they ask when they're done if they can get involved. And I'm like, when you're ready, you can always get involved. Be it now, be it later, you can always get involved. And again, I'm very thankful that Miss April invited me in to help with the event, because we talk about it a lot, but even guys don't realize. Guys, we get it too. It's less than 1%, but I always tell the guys, you got 8 on your paws and claws, 8 women, mom, sister, aunt, grandma,
Yeah.
friend. I don't care what it is. If one of those 1 in 8 is going to get it. And the guys always go, Rick, are you sure about that? Go look at the statistics. Yes.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Yeah. I totally agree. And to be honest, and I've told April this, I'm like, I feel a little bit embarrassed that I wasn't more aware of how many people breast cancer affects. Because, October rolls around and you see the NFL, everybody's wearing pink, and you see it, but I feel like it's almost like COVID. It doesn't, until it hits you at home, you don't really.
Yes, ma'am. You're right, but and then but that is right there. That is the reason we do these events. That right there, because even idiot boys like me, until April invited me in, I didn't have a clue. I had no clue, and I'm dealing with some health issues right now that I will go public with later. People that privately know me, I'm not going to talk about it on the show. But a win for cancer is a win for cancer, because if you be it breast cancer, brain cancer, whatever it is, cancer is cancer. If we can find a win on one front, it will start to cross over, and maybe eventually we eradicate cancer for good. So,
amen.
Mark talked a little bit about his cancer, which I'm not going to go into right now because I don't know how public he is with it. But again, one of those things where a win is a win is a win. And I talk about it just because it's one of those things where I was clueless. Let's be perfectly honest, clueless. Yeah, so if I can help, hallelujah. And I'm glad but I'm glad to hear I'm not the only one, because when you say I didn't really know, it's like, okay.
Yeah. And my sister has lived with cancer for 20 plus years. It's a different kind of cancer, but like you said, cancer is cancer. And then in 2017, my mom passed away from cancer, another, female cancer, but I guess then I was starting to become more aware of how much cancer just affects. It's going to affect you at some point, some family member, some friend.
And when you say family member, like I'm talking about, I've got a fur baby right now that, again, you watch the devastation, the carnage, and you go, okay, you have to get involved. And the people that don't get involved, if you hear this, if you're watching the show and it strikes a chord with you, please reach out to me, reach out to Lori, reach out to April, reach out to somebody. We'll get you involved. I mean, even if it's not breast cancer, we'll get you involved. And it's the first step is the hardest. Once you take the first step, though, it gets easier after that. I mean, and
yeah, I'm there with you.
I'm going to tell you right now, the fact that I remember the last time you came on the show, you kind of talked about it. You said it was the first time you'd really kind of opened up about it. You really kind of and I was so flattered that you were okay talking about it. And again, I'm a big mouth. It's all therapy for me. So to have you feel comfortable enough to talk about it and hopefully help somebody else that maybe is going through it right now or has dealt with it and is just not gone public with it or talked about it. They've kept internalized it. That's phenomenal. I hope it inspires more people.
Yeah, me too, because I kept it to myself, and I didn't want to get all over social media about it. So it wasn't until I was at home recovering that I really reached out to Michelle. And then, like you said, it is therapy, because there's so many support groups, but this was the right one for me, because I had tried like a local one and it just
didn't work.
It just wasn't where I needed to be. So to be with people that I can relate with and have something else in common with, that was just the right fit. And it did open me up. It's like, well, why can't I talk about this? Okay, I don't have a freaking boob. That's just the way it is.
Can I tell you, one of the most impactful pictures I ever saw was when Miss April posted the picture of her without a shirt after her double mastectomy. And to me, what a sexy woman. The boobs didn't matter. It's she has such an awesome soul, and she is so strong as a human being, and the courage that I was like, wow. In fact, I just saw her last night at a Halloween party, and again, wow. I just was like, that you are a hero, and I don't think it's something to be ashamed of at all. In fact, those are scars of pride. Not. And maybe I'm seeing it differently because I'm we boys don't have boobs, or we play with them all the time. You ladies, my Amy always says, oh, what's the big deal? I have them. I'm like, we're boys. We don't. But I just thought that was so courageous. So
well, I appreciate that. And it is a mental, even though it's like, well, whatever, it's gone. It's the mental, because you've got to look in the mirror and be like, that sucked. Like, I choose to have, had this happen. No, but I am strong enough to move past it and just accept it. And I'm alive. And this is just the way it is.
Took the words out of my mouth. I was going to say, I know it sucks, but I'm so thankful that you fought the fight, and I got to meet you, and we got to become friends, because the world's a better place having you in it, and having folks like April and just everybody that I've met that survived it. It's like, you are warriors, and that's really the best word that I can put out there. Y'all are warriors, and it's something to be admired. And if I'm ever put to the test, I hope that I'm as strong, because I'm telling you, I'm like, wow is all I can say.
Well, thank you. And yeah, I know you'll be strong enough no matter
what. You got to remember, you look at me wrong or you say something, I'm in the corner balled up crying. You could ask Amy. She's like, get up, you wimp. Oh my God, we're going into the holidays. And so on a light note, we're going to, before we end the interview, what are your plans for the holidays? I know we got freaking Candyville in a couple days.
Man, well, I went to the pumpkin farm yesterday with my
Yes, I saw the pictures. Oh my Lord.
That's my niece and my new great nephew. And my sister. My sister was on crutches like April. She had foot surgery.
The wagon wheelchair.
Yes.
Oh, cool. Oh, cool.
I told him, I'm like, just sit down and I'll pull you, and then we'll get through it.
You know what you need? You need, those body harnesses they have for the kids, so you put them on a leash and you don't lose them at Disney World.
Yeah.
Like, you just need one of those, so you could just be like, like a horse. You could just walk and just pull them behind you. Except for I'd be galloping, and people would be like, Rick, slow down.
Yeah, you would be.
I'm sorry. You know what? I'm 52 years old, and I feel like 1,000, but I still act like I'm 4.
That's good. Keep doing it, Rick, because we love you.
No. The problem is, as a 52-year-old guy, you're like, they expect you to act mature. It's like, I'm going to be in timeout for this one. It's okay. Because the little kids that are in the corner, like, you got in trouble? Like, yeah.
Yeah, I can see you getting into some mischief here and there. I could definitely see that.
Speaking of the next holiday, Thanksgiving's coming up after that. I'm used to being at the kiddie table because I'm not mature enough to sit at the adult table. Just saying. Yeah. The mac and cheese has come out my nose before. I'm not allowed to sit with the big kids anymore.
I can picture you as like the fun uncle. Like, I want to sit next to Uncle Rick.
Oh, yeah, it's fun until they have to go home with their parents, and then parents call me later, go, why in the hell did you think it was okay? And that's where the conversation goes downhill real quick. I figured if you could get 5 rolls in your mouth at once, let's see if we could do it. Like,
don't let anybody try on the holidays.
My grandfather, before he died, I remember him telling me at a very young age that the fountain of youth was in the mind. If you stay active and you see the world through the eyes of a child, it is the fountain of youth. You will stay young. And, except for, playing with dolls, which I was told is frowned upon, I'm doing it. Like,
I played with trucks. Who cares?
Oh no, I have a whole giant model railroad upstairs that I built. I like trains. Like, wow. And then I have drums. Just saying.
Yeah, I think it's all positive. Positive. There's nothing wrong with toys.
Okay. Then we've got Christmas as we're talking about toys. Are you the one that or do you just look at him and go, let me guess?
Yeah, I'll shake a little, take a little guess, but yeah, our family's pretty small, and there's not a lot of kids. Well, we've got the one great nephew now, but so that might be changing in the next few years. There might be more, but Chris and I don't have kids.
So is it frowned upon to buy yourself gifts, wrap them up, and stick them under the tree?
No. We just skip the wrapping part. We get the gift, so that I will buy something for the studio or whatever. But
we don't even, Amy and I don't even do gifts. We quit doing them years ago. Instead, we take a vacation every year around the holidays. And because you don't remember the socks or the pajamas or the crap that you got last year, the year before, or 5 years ago. But if you take a vacation, you create memories, you remember those for a lifetime. So I said, instead of wasting money on garbage, I don't want really, let's just take a vacation every year. And so every year we've taken a vacation.
Yeah, I like that. Well, I think I lost you, but hopefully Mr. Rose can get us back on.
I'm here, but I'm not sure what happened to him. I'm here. Okay.
Now I see Rick.
Yeah.
Okay. What happened?
I don't, it's done that every single show right at about the 40-minute mark. It kicks me out. I think that's Mr. Rose telling me, hey,
no, if I kick you out, you're not coming back. That's right. I'm going to kick you out.
I'll pick right up because I know what I was going to say.
Okay.
So this will be the first year that Josh, our son, who's 21, moved to Fort Lauderdale. And that was 3 months ago. And not just did he move down there, but there's no family, no friends. He got a job on a 150-foot private yacht as a deckhand. Yeah.
Wow.
You want to talk about guts? I admire him beyond words. Like, oh, you left your whole support group. So he's down there. So I'm like, do we even bother? Because we don't put gifts under the tree. Do I even bother putting up a tree? Like, do I Grinch the crap out of this? Or
I have this struggle every year. I'm like, because we don't have kids, but I like putting that stuff up, but then I got to take it down.
There you go. If I could put it up and some Oompa Loompas or minions would come behind me and take the crap down.
Yeah.
I mean, the problem is I'm defeated after the holidays and I don't want to take it. And I'll be the house that come July 4th, I still got Christmas crap up.
I have to make a point to have it down by New Year's. Otherwise I kind of start getting depressed because I gotta get it put away. I don't know why.
Real tree or fake tree?
Fake.
It's so fake that the needles are falling off and you think it's a real tree. So it's like
I literally don't even take mine apart. I throw a sheet over it. It's in the corner and it's buried behind some drum cases.
As you say, we keep it in the house because we don't want it to get lonely. We stick it in a room in a corner, throw a sheet over it. We'll see you in a couple months. Wow.
It's faster to take it out and it's faster to put it away. I'll take the ornaments off and put them in the box.
Screw that. Leave the ornaments on.
You had it that way. Maybe.
Oh my God. And you actually do throughout the year. You're like, oh, I found another ornament. Just put it on there. And then when you take it out and just put it in the corner, you're like, oh, remember we got that one at the flea market.
Yeah. I might have to graduate to like the tabletop tree at some point. That's even easier.
Ooh. You really shouldn't give me ideas because I'm the idiot that we went and bought like 50, maybe more, these mirrored snowflakes. So they're all different. And I took fishing line and I did different lengths. So above the tree, I hang all these snowflakes. I just want to leave them up all year round.
Yeah,
but it looks like it's snowing, kind of. And when the light hits, it's all sparkly. And, yeah. Mm-hmm. I have too much time on my hands. I'm just saying.
A disco ball.
Oh, how about we just hang a disco ball above the tree? In fact, let's just hang a disco ball.
Just shine a red and green light on it. You're done.
Hey, Amy, I got a new holiday idea. We'll throw a holiday disco party.
Yeah, my husband, he put the light bulbs on the front porch and the back porch where you can change the color. We're almost just to that point. Like, just change the color of the light.
You know what? We need to talk more often. I think that's brilliant. I think I'm going to change mine today.
You can change it to yellow for Thanksgiving.
That's orange.
Yeah. Well, orange for Halloween. I don't know what you do for Thanksgiving.
And if I'm with me, I get stuck with the red light, and people will be like, Rick, are you sending us a message?
Are you on air right now? That's what the red light means, right?
I'm always on the air.
Yeah, it's true. You're always on. You're never off.
Oh, my Lord. Yeah, you know what? My wife says I talk in my sleep. So it's a curse. I'm just saying. Lori, it is never enough time. I don't want to wait another 6 months. I'm going to bug you. You got to come back on, like right after the new year.
I'm here.
Bring Chris with you.
Yeah.
We'll terrorize him. He won't even know. Because did he watch the interview last time?
I don't know. I can't remember.
Don't tell him about this one. Then when he comes on, we'll just terrorize Chris.
All right. He's probably a little bit more soft-spoken than I even am. But once you get him going, then
so you're saying it's like fresh meat to the slaughter. And see, this is why nobody likes me, because I'm evil.
We all love you.
Thank you, except for maybe my friends, because they were on stage Friday night, and I brought one of those giant yellow foam minion costumes. And when they were playing Smoking in the Boys' Room, I decided to punk them. So I went running out on stage. And, yeah.
Oh, man.
Payback.
At the end of the tour, when the bands all play jokes on each other, I had my hi-hat taped shut, cymbals taped where they wouldn't move. I'm like, you got to be kidding me.
Man, I never thought of those. Those are greatness. I'm putting some tape in my bag. Oh, and when one of the drummers calls you up and go, what did you tell Rick to do? Lori said, it was Lori.
Yeah. I miss those times where everybody runs on stage at the last night of the tour and just does stupid crap.
Well, we happen to be, Rebel Yell happens to be good friends with the Krooligans, and they actually, in May, they did that to us. They got up and danced during one of our songs, and everybody forgot about it except for, and I was like, oh, I'm bringing a costume. They've got these two dancers that are beautiful ladies called the Nastier Habits. And I'm going to get a red plaid mini skirt and a wig. And next time I'm getting on stage as like one of the dance, like I'll learn the routine and get up there. The guys are going to.
Yeah, sometimes I wish I was more local so that I could come and hang out with you guys.
Oh, if you guys ever just want to come down and hang out for a long weekend in Texas, just come on down. Like,
all right.
We got an extra room. You can just come hang out with us. You'll be like, oh my God. Please, can you take us to the airport? It's only been an hour. We got to leave. And next time you come for Drumathon, you got to drag Chris with you.
Yeah, for sure.
Chris, we're coming for you.
Yeah.
Or as Beetlejuice says, we're here for your daughters, Chuck. Oh, my Lord, Lori, thank you so much for coming on as always. I love it when we get to chat.
Yeah, I love you, man. Just thanks for having me. It's always good to talk to you.
You're always welcome. And for those of you that are just tuned in for the first time, thank you for tuning in. Yes, it's always like this. Go to Facebook, like us, invite your friends to like us, because if you're there not screwed up, we can help you with that. If you're looking for other mediums, you can find us on iHeart Radio. You can find us on Spotify. Obviously, we're on Facebook. You can get us on YouTube. Twitter and Instagram are supposed to be, and I'm horrible at it. So if you want to send me friendly reminders, I saw a squirrel and I got sidetracked. We also have a Roku channel and we have an Amazon Fire channel. So you can find us, or you can go to In the Pit with Rick, download our app. It is free. You can watch the show there, and there's a calendar. So if you're in a band and you want to promote your shows, put them on the calendar. If you're looking for a show because you just want to get off the couch and put down the ho-hos and the ding-dongs, we can help you with that. So there you guys go. Be safe when you're out there in the field. Lori, thank you again for hanging out with me.
Love you, man.
Yeah, I love you too, man. Tell Chris I said hi, and we're coming for him. I'm Rick. This has been Lori, and we will see you somewhere in the pit.
Later.